So, what did he say, this fancy new solicitor?
Well, he implied that with Jim being an ex-serviceman and handing himself in the way he did, that the judge might not look at him as if he would a common killer.
Even so, I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Well, no, I'm not. But he said that he thinks he'll get away with a minimum sentence.
Well, it'll be money well spent if he does.
Yeah. Hey, and if there's anything I can do to repay you.
Well, there is, actually. How do you fancy helping out behind the bar?
The Rovers?
Yeah, I mean, only part-time, you know, but you're out of a job, I'm short-staffed, and I go on holiday at the end of the week.
Well, yeah, you said you were having a break. Why not? Yeah, keep me out of mischief.
Good. Say, £4 an hour? That's, 2,500 hours, and we should be quits. Only joking. I'll pay you the same as everybody else.
Right then, when do you want me to start?
Could you do me an hour this dinner?
OK, you're on.
Good. See you about 12. See you.
Bye.
I'd sooner you were screaming and shouting at me in the street than cutting me dead.
Stay out my way and I won't have to do either.
Is that it, then? I don't exist anymore.
Finally sinking in, is it?
Look, Nat, I know I've done an awful thing. I understand why you're so angry, but it was just a one-off.
And that's supposed to make it right, is it?
You can't push me out of your life forever just because of one stupid mistake.
Do you know, I wish you'd never washed up here in the first place.
You don't mean that. We're sisters. We're flesh and blood.
Oh, and did that occur to you when you were sleeping with Vinny?
It was a mistake. Look, you've already lost a husband and son. Do you want to add a sister to that list? Nat, please, I'll do anything to make things better between us.
Just make sure you're out of that house by tonight.
Yeah?
Oh, thanks, Roy. Oh, and good luck with your meeting. It's tonight, isn't it?
Preparation evenings, they call them. Are very informal at this stage.
Well, I think that you will make a fabulous parent.
You think so?
Yeah, well, come on. I mean, you're great with kids. I mean, do you remember little Jamie Armstrong? I mean, he worshipped you.
But what if I make a hash of it? I could ruin somebody's life.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all do that. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but, I mean, kids are very resilient and adaptable.
I'm not sure that I'm resilient or adaptable. I am a creature of habit. Until Hayley came along, I'd say I was a loner.
Yeah, but, I mean, Hayley changed that, didn't she? I mean, you wouldn't want to go back to the way things were before.
No.
So are you worried that a child might come between you and Hayley and upset the apple cart?
No. In fact, I hope, if things work out, that a child will bring us closer.
Well, then.
But now you mention it, I mean, a bad experience could damage Hayley and me just as much as the child.
And lastly, your optics with your usual gin, whiskey, vodka, and blah, blah, blah.
Righty-ho.
Any questions?
It's like I never left.
Good. And here's your first customer.
Right, I'll get these in. Cheers, mate.
Oh, thanks. Yes, gents, what can I get you?
2 pints, love. So, you and Jim are both behind bars now, eh?
Les, you'd have been better spending your money on a clown suit. Couldn't have looked any dafter than the one you've got on.
Isn't it funny, eh? How everybody wants to have a pop at you when you've got a few bob in your pocket. It's designer gear, is this? And I'll tell you something else, pal. It's working and all. I've turned into a right babe magnet.
You don't have to talk some rubbish, you.
Right, Liz, you'll be all right, won't you? I'm just nipping into town. I've got an appointment for about an hour.
OK. Right, I'll see you later.
See you later.
In my hotel last night, I got shied up by this bird. Ooh. Absolute goddess she was.
Oh, pull the other one.
No, I'm meeting her tonight.
Hey, you want to be trying to sort it out with Janice, not sniffing round other women.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Janice is the one who took me out, remember? Well, if she doesn't know when she's onto a good thing, she should move over and let the rest of womankind have a go. Cheers.
Told you. Don't think it's a good idea that we're seen together.
I just want to talk to you. Have you been crying?
Had another run-in with Nat. Not quite the public flogging I had the other day, but, you know, just as painful.
What'd she say?
The sooner I'm out of her house and her life, the better.
Oh, she's got some nerve. I mean, she's hardly Mother Teresa.
She's got this way of making me feel this big, always has had, even when I'm not in the wrong.
Yeah, which you aren't. I mean, me and her were as good as finished, I told you.
Let's not kid ourselves, eh, Vinny? In fact, if you want to talk to me, just talk about something else, eh?
Well, I was going to invite you out for a farewell drink, but probably can't face it now that Big Sister's laid a guilt trip on you.
No, sorry. Can't face it. Though, there's a couple of cans in the fridge, if you fancy.
Do you know, I was the first guy I know that had a mobile phone. Huge great thing it was, you know, like a brick, weighed a ton. Hello? And now 5-year-olds have got them.
Not me.
Well, maybe it's time we got you one.
What, so I can phone you up and tell you how many pork pies you've sold?
Well, it makes sense. I'm never in one place long enough.
But I am, and it has a normal phone.
Ah, well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, I have got a proposition for you.
Oh?
Cheers.
So you're definitely leaving them?
Well, there's no to keep us here. Except you. And you've given us the knockback.
That's not very fair.
Sorry, forget I said that.
Where will you go?
Oh, back in the northeast for a few days, see me folks, then who knows? What about you, any plans?
Try and get back on the ships, I suppose. I rang my old boss this morning, but he's not got back to me yet.
Look, I don't want you to think that I can't say no for an answer, but let me just ask you this. What we did it mean anything to you?
Yeah,
Then
of course it did.
why can't you consider the possibility that it could lead to something more?
Do you not think we've caused enough upset, you and me?
Well, wouldn't that upset be worthwhile if it led to something?
Vinny, don't
Look, imagine
do this to me.
Imagine Natalie doesn't exist. Imagine you'd met me just like a normal bloke.
This is pointless.
We'd spent that afternoon together. What happened. Would you pursue it then?
Probably, yeah.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean
it
that I'm...
does. Look, it's mad, I know, but I just feel that you and me hit it off better in one afternoon than Natalie and me in all those months.
Been comparing notes on us, have you?
That's not what I
Bragging
mean.
to your mates. Oh, I've had both sisters, me.
Look, I feel as bad about doing this to Natalie as you do, but part of me can't help being happy, dead happy, that I've met somebody as special as you. I think you're fantastic, Debs.
There ain't a problem, is there?
No, just the opposite. I'm very impressed.
All right. So, how'd you get on in town?
Oh, fine. Cup of tea?
Please, yeah. Yeah, I'll be better once I'm more familiar with the prices and that.
Look, I'll come straight to the point, Liz. How do you fancy a stint as manageress here?
Are you serious?
Well, yeah, just while I'm on holiday for starters, but if you don't fancy it...
Oh, no, I do. It's just a bit sudden, that's all.
Well, you said you were an old hand, and I have got every confidence in you.
Well, in that case, I'd be glad to.
Great.
Cheers. So, are you going anywhere nice?
Provided it's a long way from a certain sister of mine, then yes, it'll be very nice. As far as I'm concerned, she doesn't exist anymore.
Bit dramatic, that, isn't it?
After what she did.
I think it's good to confront her, but you can't go on punishing her forever.
Oh, I don't know, Liz. Maybe I am being a bit hard on her. It's just that it's very complicated.
I know. There are things Jim did I thought I'd never forgive, but I did. And I'll tell you something else. When I was going away, supposedly to start a new life, the one thing that preyed on my mind night after night was the fact that I might not see him again.
Of course, Ken won't approve of me having a mobile phone.
Right, is our Ken a bit of a technophobe, is he?
No. He just thinks I'm too much at your beck and call as it is.
Well, he's right, you are. And I'm very, very grateful.
I enjoy making myself useful.
He's got a point, though. I mean, the way the job's grown, you are so much more than just a shop assistant.
Oh, like I said, I enjoy making myself useful.
Okay, but look, I never want you to feel as if you're being exploited.
I don't.
No, but Ken obviously does.
Yeah, well, Ken likes things to be straightforward. You work in a shop, you go home. You don't then go round to your boss's flat and do his VAT.
I totally agree. And that's why I think we should redefine your job description.
In what way?
Well, I want you to spend less time behind the counter and more time keeping an eye on all my shops in a supervisory capacity.
Oh, I see.
Right, of course, you'll help me on the day-to-day stuff, and there will be more money. Look, I don't want you or Ken to worry about that. So, what do you say?
It sounds great.
Good. Look, we can iron out the details later, yeah? And also, I just wanted to acknowledge what a great asset you are. I really appreciate having you around.
Thanks, Dev. That means a lot to me.
Now, don't worry. I haven't come for a slanging match. In fact, I've come to see if I can patch things up.
That's great.
I'm not saying that what you did wasn't lousy, but you're right. You are the only real family member I've got left, and I can't afford to lose you.
Oh, no, that's what...
Anyway, I've done worse things than you've done, and I don't see why we should fall out over some fella, especially a piece of scum like Vinny. And look, I'm not being funny, but you do realise that one of the reasons he made a beeline for you was to get at me, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying he didn't fancy you, but there was an ulterior motive. Anyway, I should have credited you with more brains. Whichever line he spun, I knew you wouldn't go back for it a second time.
Are you bringing that cup of tea then, or what?
You lying little...
Natalie, please.
How could you say those things? You practically begged me for forgiveness, and the next thing you're back in bed with him.
It wasn't meant to happen. He just came round. We got talking.
What, have you got no self-control, eh? Are you that desperate?
All right, that's enough.
This is my house, and I will say what's enough.
Yeah, if you're gonna have a go at someone, have a go at me.
Oh, shut up! Well, I hope the sex was good. Because I'll tell you something for now, it was bug all you said out else.
Right, look, I know this is a mess.
A mess? Well, actually, I would call it grubby, sordid, nasty and cheap, and you are both disgusting. What was it you said? That I can't afford to lose another family member? Well, I just have. Only this time, I wouldn't care if you were dead.
Yoo-hoo! Junie!
Sorry I'm late. I got held up.
You're here now. And very lovely you look too.
Well, you don't look so bad yourself, Leslie.
Fancy a drink?
Champagne?
Barman, a bottle of your finest bubbly.
What have I done?
I don't know what her problem is. I mean, she didn't want me, but she didn't want anybody else having me either.
She'll never speak to me again. I'm gonna go and pack my bags. The sooner I get out of this place, the better.
Maybe it's for the best.
How on earth do you make that out?
Well, maybe it'll sink into Natalie now that we've actually got something, that it isn't just a one-off.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Don't feel wrong to me. And if you weren't feeling so guilty, you'd say the same thing. All right, it's a mess. But at least two of us can be happy. Come to Newcastle with me.
And do what? I don't anyone.
There's plenty of hairdressers. What have you got to lose?
I couldn't.
If you're sick of me after a week, you can go somewhere else.
I couldn't. Only
What?
there is an alternative.
As my mate Jeff Lynn says, you do what you can with the cards you dealt.
So, is he from round here as well, then?
Jeff's a rock singer. Well, producer now. Used to sing with ELO.
Oh, see? Wow!
So, what do you fancy doing? We could go for a meal and then on to a nightclub.
I think we both know where this is headed. So why don't we stop pussyfooting around and get down to business?
Yeah, hang on. You're all right to make an interview in Southampton tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Great. Yep, tomorrow it is. All right. Take care. Bye. There's a ship leaves next week. They need hairdressers, waiters, bar staff, croupier.
There's a casino on board.
There's everything. Honest, Benny, you'll love it.
I haven't got the job yet.
I told you Ross is an old mate of mine. They need people.
A couple of hours ago, you weren't sure about letting us in the house. Now we're talking about going to sea together.
Well, you're the one who suggested going to Newcastle. You're not getting cold feet, are you?
Oh, no, it's just a bit drastic. I mean, if it doesn't work out, we hate the sight of each other after a week. We can't exactly jump ship.
Yeah, it's a lot easier avoiding someone on a 1,000-foot cruise liner than it is living around here, I can tell you.
Oh, what the hell? Let's do it. Yeah.
Are you all right going down to Southampton tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I've just got a bit of business I need to tidy up first. Yeah?
There you go, my love. Welcome to my boudoir.
Ooh!
Can I get you a drink from the minibar?
Oh, no, thank you.
You don't mind if I do?
Not nervous, are you?
No, not at all. Not me. By heck. You're quick off the mark, aren't you?
Well, there's no use hanging about, is there?
My sentiments exactly.
Oh, before I forget, let's sort out the money side of things beforehand.
Money side?
It's 200 quid flat, hey, and I don't do out kinky.
What do you mean you're a... Oh.
What do you mean,
You're a...
Hey, I prefer the word hostess.
I don't care what you prefer, love. I've never paid for it in my life, and I'm not paying for it now.
What, you mean somebody actually believes all that rubbish you came out with downstairs?
Listen, you. This is a respectable hotel. You lured me up here under false pretences.
You what? I couldn't have made it plainer if I'd have hung a sign round me neck. Let's get down to business, I said. I gave you my card.
Yeah, but... I thought you liked me.
Listen, I'm not going away empty-handed, and I have been here over an hour.
Yeah? Well, you're not getting no money off me. In fact, I'm going to phone the management.
Right, you do that, sunshine, and I'll phone my mate Lenny. He doesn't take too kindly to having these girls mucked about with.
Right. Here, you can have a tenner.
50 quid and I'm letting you off cheap.
50 quid? No way.
Right.
All right, here. 20.
Thank you.
40.
Good.
50.
About time.
You are going to ask plenty of questions this time, aren't you?
If it's a particular question I want answering, I'm not just going to ask a question for the sake of appearing keen.
So that's a no then.
No, it's not a no.
I just think you should enter into the spirit a bit more.
And I think we're here to learn.
The best way to learn is by asking questions.
Or by listening.
I promise you won't peep.
I promise.
Promise?
I promise.
Only you'll spoil the surprise. I say you'll spoil the surprise. Watch it now, then. There you are. Right.
Can you open my eyes yet?
No, you can't. Stop there. Now you can look. A short-warming present.
It's not.
It is. The Bugatti of bacon slices.
Where'd you find it?
Bankrupt's here in hiding, but in a shocking condition, only I got a fella who restores them.
I don't know, say it's lovely, Uncle Fred.
Go on, give it a whirl.
Dare hardly touch it.
It works, you know. It's not just for decoration purposes.
Oh, yes, very smooth.
Not interrupting, am I?
Oh, you'd not understand. It's a butcher's thing.
I see. Only I've come for the rent.
Is it you?
Yeah, afraid so.
Oh.
Actually, the boss would prefer cash.
Cash?
Yeah, well, with his recent problems, he's trying to keep a few quid out the books. Said you'd understand.
Did he know? Don't usually carry a lot of cash with me. Got about 100 in here. Have you got any spare cash, Ashley? Ashley!
What?
At the end of the day, fostering and adoption are very different, and it's down to the individual to decide what's best for them. I know that fostering challenges me in every area of my life, physically, mentally, emotionally. But there's nothing to compare with the feeling that I get from seeing a child go back home happy.
Thanks, Jean. If anyone's got any questions...
Yeah, I would like to ask Jean, how many times have you fostered in total?
Oof, I've lost count. Must be about a dozen times over the past 8 years.
And what are the shortest and the longest periods you've fostered for?
The shortest was a little girl called Bernadette. That was just for one night. Her mum had to go into hospital to have her wisdom tooth taken out, and there was literally no one to take care of her. And the longest was 2 years, Richard.
That was the little boy whose mother remarried and she was forced to choose between the stepdad and the son.
Yeah, he gets on quite well with his stepdad now.
Could you speak a little bit more about that case? You see, I experienced a similar situation when I was growing up.
Yes, well, social services got in touch with me about the case when Richard was 7.
All ready for the big day, are you?
To be honest, I'm dead nervous.
Good. I'm sure you'll do very well.
Cheers. I hope we get things sorted out and all.
Yeah, thanks.
Only Uncle Fred weren't too happy about having to pay rent in cash.
What are you talking about?
Vinny said we have to pay the rent in cash.
Vinny doesn't even work for me anymore.
But we've just handed over 200 quid to him.
Yours, sir.
Oh, we're totally mad to do this.
Yeah. But I don't see why we should let that stop us. Come on.
I've got to post this in the salon.
Well, quick as you can.
Okay.
Come on, let's go. Let's go, mate.
Hey, stop! I want to work with you!